How's it going, everybody? Sean Finnegan here. I'm joined by Brian Albert.
Hey, everyone. How's it going?
Today we're taking a look at the Halo 5 opening cinematic teaser. This got dropped on us yesterday night.
It did last night. It's I gotta say, it's great, super action-packed, but it doesn't actually reveal a ton.
Yeah, there's not a lot of story here.
I'm gonna back it up too. I'm just letting it play over.
Yeah, not a lot of story here. It opens up with a team of Spartan 4s. This is Spartan Locke's team, Fireteam Osiris.
Yep, we can see him in the background there. It's him and 3 others. They're all Spartan 4s, and they have been tasked to hunt down Blue Team, which is Chief's team.
Right, which we know to be like the sort of underlying narrative of Halo 5. But in this very specific scene, they're giving a mission to actually go back and acquire Dr. Halsey, who is on this planet.
Correct. We see on these little futuristic floating screens here, there's Forerunner activity at a UNSC colony called Conrad's Point, and there's a giant, like, smoking hole in the ground.
Yeah. This is a war zone.
Yes, and it looks like someone's digging for some kind of Forerunner artifact. We're not really sure who. But Halo kind of has a theme of, like, hey, there's something really important buried underground, and we have to find it.
Yeah, and during this dialogue, their sort of mission commander here does hint at the fact that this is not the first human colony to sustain attacks.
Right.
This is like the 4th or 5th.
There were 5 in 3 days, and it looks like someone's searching for something. And I just like this shot here. It's just another good shot of Osiris. Like, we have them all, their helmets off. We see plenty of Locke, but there's Tanaka and Vale, and then Buckway in the back, who we saw in ODST.
And I do believe this is the first fire team we've had that's seen 2 females on the team. Normally it's 3 and 1 female, 3 guys and 1 female.
I think that's correct.
Yeah.
We're gonna see a lot of Buck. I just want to point out, man, he's come a long way since we've seen him in ODST.
Oh yeah.
He looks really good.
That's
Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, that looks exactly like Nathan.
It's not
Fillion.
even like inspired by. And there's Halsey. They're saying yes. So she's here. She has info about these sort of dig sites, these attacks, and she's currently a captive of the sort of Covenant Supreme Leader.
Yeah, who they name, but whose name I'm
forgetting. It's like Jewel Abdama. Oh, want me to back up?
Yeah, and if you also back up to the shot of the mission commander, if you read his name backwards
where am
a
I
little
here?
bit further.
Back more?
Yeah.
All right, sorry.
Rather, that is Thomas L. Lasky, who you would have known as the character from Forward Until Dawn.
Yeah, he was in Forward Until Dawn. He was in Halo 4. He helped the Chief kind of escape off the Infinity near the end when he was sort of disobeying orders.
Yeah, he's the one guy who's kind of been loyal to the Chief, even when at the end of 4 there he kind of became like a manhunted.
Yeah, he was a good dude. I like him.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's helping Osiris. I don't know. I haven't played the story. I don't know these characters, but I don't like people hunting down my Master Chief.
No, no one does.
So I don't know if he's helping him. I'm not sure if Lasky and I can remain friends here. Just a quick thing. We knew the pistol was back. It kind of looks like the M40, which was in Nightfall, and Locke used it, but it also kind of just looks like the normal M6s from the games. Who knows? They're both very similar. I like Halo pistols. They're strong.
Yeah.
They're useful.
They kind of have a legacy behind
they do
nowadays.
So I actually can't tell here. Is this sort of down in that hole? I guess we don't really know, do we?
Yeah, it doesn't, like, it's hard to tell from this sort of diagram here, but, like, in the action scene that's to follow, you don't really see a big Covenant structure like that, at least clear as day, right? Like,
that's true.
There's a lot of stuff going on, but I didn't see anything like that.
And this is, I might mispronounce his name, Jewel Abdama.
Yeah.
The Covenant Supreme Leader. I think we saw him a little bit in the Halo 4, what were the ops missions called? Basically, not the campaign, the Spartan ops missions. Thank you.
And here we have Sarah Palmer briefly there.
Yeah, Spartan Sarah Palmer was also in Halo 4. But here she says, if you have the opportunity, and he's like, yes, Commander, but it's like, to kill him, to capture him, I don't know.
Yeah,
I would assume kill, but...
Yeah, it's pretty implied that she means take him out.
Yeah.
Which means, like, maybe things aren't all well between the Covenant and the humans, is like, we kind of got a sense like there was a slight temporary alliance between Chief and the Arbiter in like Halo 3, and then like.
But that was still really tense.
Yeah.
We're gonna see another sort of warring faction sort of thing coming up here. But yeah, they all jump out and it's awesome. And
they
again,
don't need parachutes. They're Spartans.
No, they don't. The point of this trailer again is to just show off how ridiculously powerful Spartans are.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of the things that all of the trailers up to this point have really done a great job of doing, is showing the speed and the scope that Halo 5 is really aiming for. The earlier trailers with Spartan Locke kind of have been big and fast, where they're charging through walls and destroying really big things, and that's exactly what we get here.
Here we see them, navigating with their thrusters a little bit. We saw a bunch of those in Halo 5, the multiplayer beta, and then they're going to slam down here pretty soon. But I do want to point out that A lot of trailers would have ended at that point where they jumped out.
Yeah.
But then they're like, nah.
Yeah, that's
we're
where
gonna
we get
follow
our title
them.
screen. Yeah.
We're going to follow them all the way down.
I want to pause here real quick because...
Back up a little bit? Or
yeah,
are you good?
no, right here is fine
Okay.
because the Spartan on the far right, which is
Buck. Yep.
This is the first shot of where you get a clear look at his helmet, which is, what do you know? It's the ODST helmet.
Yeah,
or
if it
very
isn't one, it's
similar to
very
the
inspired by it, which
ODST
makes
helmet.
sense because we saw him in ODST first.
Yeah,
and,
I mean...
it makes sense. There's
history
another
lesson.
good look at
Yeah,
it there.
history lesson. Like Buck was an ODST before he became a Spartan,
Yeah,
and so this is kind of a little bit of a callback to that. I think.
I mean, we've already seen him a little bit, but I kind of like how, I guess in these Spartan 4s, they kind of have each one's kind of stylish in their own way. Like,
oh yeah,
they're very different, like multicolored. Their armors look different
it's
hardware.
a lot sleeker.
Yeah, yeah.
Than what we're used to seeing with Chief 2s.
No parachutes. I do want to point out here. Okay, so this whole thing, basically, I'm going to be pausing at a few cool points. First of all, like here. I just haven't seen elite armor like that before with those like different separate dotted lights on there like that on the left with the sword.
Yeah.
It's just different variants, I guess. Maybe it's, I don't know if it's like, you know, in Halo it was like the different colored armor designates like a tougher enemy. I don't know if in this it's like that to the next level, but I think it looks really cool.
I think you're right.
And let's bam.
There we see the ground pound.
Yep, and we saw this plenty of multiplayer. There's another one coming I think here too.
Mm-hmm.
Bam. Yep, right there. Yeah, just a huge AoE sort of slam thing. It's cool to see it in action here, not just in multiplayer.
I love that she just shoulder charges through that giant boulder.
Yep.
Like, get this rock out of here.
Yeah, so yeah, the rest of this here, oh, there's a dropship coming. No big deal. So she jumps in here, takes out 2 elites with swords. No big deal. We see a gross, ugly jackal face.
She uses one of those dude's swords to, like, destroy the other one while she's spinning around, like, holding his neck. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's just this non-stop onslaught like we've never really seen before. Like, we know Spartans are powerful. Just, hey, this grunt doesn't need to stand anymore. Let me just throw it, body this dude over me, and then shoot him.
One of the other things I really like about this trailer is in every one of these shots, like, it's very similar to the way we saw Joss Whedon do it in Avengers, but, like, they're never far from each other. Which is something that they've been... Which is something that 343 has really emphasized about the co-op gameplay, is that you're going to be working very closely with your team.
I was hoping you'd bring up something like that, being a big film guy. But a lot of these shots reminded me of just, like, especially the end, that Avengers shot at the early, you know, when they're in the snow and they all, like, leap forward together. I just want to point out this, you know, since Halo 2, we've had vehicle jacking. Here, I love this. It's like, oh, I don't need your vehicle.
I'm just going
to kick off of you, whatever, and then... No, I'm not taking your vehicle, but you are just, nah. You just ripped out of this thing. She
grabs him by the jaw. He grabs him by the jaw.
It's really
amazing. Good. This is so here we have the first appearance of a Promethean. These are from the enemy types from Halo 4.
Yep, they're back, which we knew.
The
but
Forerunner.
They sort of have this cool like teleporting animation. You see it a few times, and it looks a lot different than it did in 4. So I was wondering, is this some kind of weapon or something? But I think it's just an upgraded. You know, new effect or something for the teleport.
I agree. I think that's just the way they move now.
Bam. Just sort of disintegrates.
They don't make much of it here. She's just like, heads up, I guess there's this new enemy type here, and there's also this massive starship about to crash.
One other thing I want to point out, though, was with all this chaos, I haven't seen any other humans besides the Spartans, no human vehicles or anything, so I'm assuming they were fighting each other, the Covenant and the Prometheans.
Yeah, I mean... It's not exactly clear because this is supposed to be like a human colony world, and you're right, we don't see any humans going on, or we don't see any human-esque stuff going on there.
Correct. Oh, I forgot about this. I want to point that out. See, this is where I first saw it. Okay, first of all, we got ugly jackal face, which is really kind of terrifying.
Yeah.
There's the Promethean up above him there, and then just blinks, kind of turns into this like orb of light, these little like wispy things, and then shoots forward. And I think we see him here. I think that might be the same one. Kind of gets like knocked around a little bit and then teleports to sort of chase this other Spartan.
He does a barrel roll.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it looks really cool. It's a good effect.
I think so too.
Doesn't matter though because no one's catching these dudes.
With the sword there, jumping off some cliffs.
Yep. And here comes the Avengers, the money shot. Bam.
Yeah. And that's basically all we have. I mean,
like as we said, it's a
super action-packed 3 minutes.
Yep.
With a little bit of story here up front, but it's really cool, and I'm super excited.
Yeah, I think that, as you said, the main takeaway here is like, hey, you know, we're talking a lot about crazy mobility. You know, I don't think Halo 5 is going to be you surfing down a mountain, parkouring over ghosts, but it's going to be pretty fast.
Yeah. Certainly.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Sean. I think we dissected what we could out of this.
Yeah, thank you very much, Brian. So if you guys are in the mood for more Halo, you are already in the right place. IGN.